Hello, and welcome to Total Mage. The recent announcement that GameStop will be closing 180 to 200 stores nationwide on the surface feels like a bad indicator of times ahead for the floundering brand. The second quarter earnings call this last week reported shrinkage in sales that were greater than the company had forecasted in the end of 2018 for the fiscal year 2019. Executive leadership at GameStop was anticipating a 5 to 10% drop in comp set, and they have now adjusted that to the mid-teens for the balance of the year. When you dig further into the earnings call, the picture that begins to form is of a company that knows they are in rough waters and is far ahead of the storm. While the slowing sales in the physical console market seem to be a poor indicator to Wall Street, GameStop and gamers both know this is just a cycle of the market in anticipation of the new consoles releasing. 2020 will be a much better year of sales for GameStop, and the executive team is positioning themselves to fully capitalize on this increase. GameStop's leadership knows that they have to cut fat and increase the bottom line margins. There was language in the second quarter earnings call that gave me a moment to pause. Quote, "The company is implementing a $200 million profit improvement plan consisting of cost cuts and margin initiatives like inventory management improvements and pricing changes. This should lead to margin gains even before any potential sales recovery. I know this is corporate speak for cut labor, cut inventory, increase retail price." After this, they head further down the path that leads me to be concerned at first with the plan that they will preemptively close profitable stores in order to gain some of those sales at nearby stores that are even more profitable. This allows them to retain the sales while drastically cutting the cost of the sale in any given market. The issue with this plan is its high risk. People that continue to purchase things in person at GameStop do so for several reasons. One of those reasons is convenience. If the store closest to my home has closed because GameStop thought they would be able to capture more or the same amount of my business at another store that may be farther away, purchasing through Amazon may look better and better. This isn't by no means a plug for Amazon, but let's be reasonable. Amazon is already a big part of my consumer decisions. Something that is easy to ship in a very short time frame, such as a video game, is that much easier to buy from Amazon when the convenience GameStop provides diminishes. Farther into the earnings call, some small amount of information gave me rise to believe that the long-term health of the company is more secure in the hands of the current leadership team than people in the market may think. GameStop has closed the gap on their debt burden, meaning that GameStop now brings in more cash than they have debt obligations. It has been some time since GameStop has been cash flow positive. This information alone is enough to assure most reasonable gamers and investors that the company is viable for some years to come and should be able to maintain some sort of profitability for some time. If GameStop were to continue to pay down its debt obligations and make itself even more competitive, they could actually begin to grow sales in the long term. As odd as this sounds, if GameStop continues the trend of dropping their debt burden, which in the start of 2018 was $816 million, and which at the end of the second quarter 2019, they had dropped it by $400 million, GameStop could cut their prices in the coming years and begin to push others out of the market simply because they carry a lower debt-to-income ratio and do not spend as much money financing the debt load they carry. Being competitive comes in many forms, and the long-term health of a company is something that's so often overlooked. As more and more electronic retailers try to trim costs and conserve as much of their brick-and-mortar operations as possible, GameStop is trying to find the smartest place to position themselves in each individual market. As always, I would love to know your thoughts. Thanks for stopping by. If you liked this video, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And as always, I will see you next time.